we tested 3 different types of soft shackles in 3 different types of quality Dyneemas, 2 samples of each, in this episode of How Not to Dyneema.
It broke around the noose.
Hey there, my name's Ted. I have a small startup called Ragnarok Overland. We do stuff for overland trucks. And I had been watching Ryan's videos, How Not To, for some time and was really impressed with all the brake stuff because, of course, who doesn't like braking stuff? And one of the things that we had in common was we both were fascinated with Dyneema, Amsteel rope, stuff like that. And in the overland community, we're using a lot of Amsteel rope now. We also make shackles. Soft shackles are becoming widely used now. Whereas in Ryan's world and sailing, they use little guys like this. We just use a lot bigger ones. Lately, I've been noticing that there are a lot more SK Amazon materials out there that people are making soft shackles are. And I was really curious to see what the differences were between the no-name Asian-made versus the quality stuff like Amsteel and other similar name brand Dyneema-based ropes when it came to making this sort of stuff. So I got in contact with Ryan, and Ryan suggested that I make up a bunch of samples out of a couple different materials. And that's what I did. And since we were going to be doing this test, we decided let's kill a couple birds with one stone. And we decided to try some other things out. So along with traditional soft shackles, we were going to try a type of soft shackle that's used in the sailing world, which uses basically an aluminum stopper as opposed to a knot, so you're just doing an end-to-end splice. How Not To did a video not too long ago with a simple knot, which basically used 2 eye splices with a simple overhand and then fed back through the 2 eye splices. I came up with an idea where why do 2 eye splices when we can just do an end-to-end splice and just go through that. So we'll be testing those as well. And of course, for each material, we have a simple eye-to-eye splice to test the actual rope and get a baseline. And that's it.
In case you found yourself here and don't know what Dyneema is the brand name by DSM for the ultra high molecular weight polyethylene, or plastic for short. And it's a super high strength fiber that Simpson makes Amsteel out of, and Marlowe makes D12 out of, and that is these 12 braid hollow ropes that we like to make soft shackles out of. And you will see Dyneema in climbing products, such as this alpine draw sling here. And apparently they even use Dyneema to repair human joints now. That would be fun to explore someday. Now, Dyneema is extremely slippery. It has the same coefficient as Teflon. But ironically, if you shove it inside of itself, since it's hollow, called splicing, then it will hold almost all of its retained strength, quoted by the manufacturer. You are actually not supposed to put knots in it because it is so static, it doesn't like the bend radius of a knot. Not that any rope does, but this one especially not. This could reduce it down 70% from its quoted strength. However, there's always an exception to the rule, and soft shackles are one of those exceptions, where if you tie a knot that would prevent the noose, or this eye, from coming off, then it retains twice as much strength than if you were to pull end-to-end, eye-to-eye. But if you see here, there are 4 strands, so you should get 4 times the strength. However, half the force is on this half of the soft shackle, just on that noose right there, and the knot reduces it down, back down 50%. So general math, you get twice as much strength out of a soft shackle as an eye-to-eye splice. And as you'll see, I pretty much made that up because the numbers are all over the place. Now with anything, there are different qualities. This is Sk99 Max. This is made out of bio Dyneema, so mostly made out of plants, and it has a lot of post-treatment in it, so it prevents creep or stretch over time, or fatigue as it bends over and over and over, and has more longevity than other ultra-high molecular weight polyethylenes, or Chineema for short. So the three qualities we tested in this video was SK Amazon, since we don't know exactly what quality they used, SK75 because it's the lowest brand name grade that you can pretty much buy today, and the highest quality at Sk99 Max by Marlowe. So in another Dyneema video we're working on, we tested 7 different SK qualities. And what we noticed about the Amazon and the eBay Dyneemas, the Chineemas, is that the weave is a lot flatter, and therefore it definitely wears out faster. This is not only got a heat treatment with an oil coating on it, the weave is tighter, the strands are rounder, and I don't know what else makes it better, but it is better. So don't just buy stuff based on strength, but if you need it to last a long time or not have creep, if you're trying to hold something down with it, there's other things to consider. Like what size soft shackle shirt you want from hownottoswag.com. Can you tell I like soft shackles? Now, every test we did in this video, we preloaded to 4 kilonewtons because I'm trying to reduce the amount of heat I'm getting by pulling it from 0 to its breaking strength quickly. And Dyneema doesn't like to be heated up. It has a low melting point compared to nylon or polyester. So if we pull it to 1,000 pounds of force, or 4.4 kilonewtons roughly, and let it settle for a little bit and then pull to destruction, then we'll see what we're gonna get. But instead of just looking at the average breaking strength of each of these materials, we decided to do one eye-to-eye splice to see what they break in real life in the exact scenario that I'm pulling them in this machine, to compare what you get straight in line as opposed to these soft shackles.
Now look at that. You can see the threads in there. Oh, yeah.
Now our SK78 got 29.5 kilonewtons, but our Amazon got 33?
This stuff is a lot more fuzzy. It's not quite like normal Dyneema.
That's interesting. It doesn't necessarily have the longevity and it's going to wear out faster, but it's nice to know it's pretty strong. And then Marlowe's premium Sk99 Max outperforms them all at 56.76 kilonewtons. Now let's see if soft shackles break double to the numbers we just got.
Looks like, I don't know, the strand is still coming out. Something gnarly happened here. So it looks like the ball stayed mostly intact, except for where it didn't. The mystery splice here, where this was the 6 strands to make the eye. Take the 12 braid there and you run that through, so you have 6 and 6, and so I think that's what's happening. Oh man. So we got a nice tight button and got a good mushroom head going on there. It's the look after it's been squished. It broke around the noose, which is what it usually does because of the bend radius right here. It broke behind the noose again. Thing's cracked. This is warped. It's not flat, and it is cracked. That is usually where it breaks. That bend radius is fairly tight. We got the one random strand that doesn't break. There is no circle left. This was where it went up and around on the aluminum. It did not break here. Found it. It is, yeah, flattish. It's not too bad, not too cracked. It left some color and mark in there because, well, because we pulled on it hard.
You'll notice I'd like to add even more variables into every test. We pulled favorably and unfavorably where the noose is trying to come off the head, and I don't typically get different results. The noose doesn't come off the head. So you can see the knot tightening when we are pulling these soft shackles, which I think is why the overhand gets a lower result, because there's Dyneema moving on Dyneema at high forces and something's heating up and cutting itself. But the circle and the button knot perform roughly the same. And for most of them, we got double the eye-to-eye strength. However, we always have the one outlier that makes us have more questions than answers. Let's see what happens when we break the Amazon stuff.
Okay, so it broke in the back of the noose, like many things do. Something to note is the braid on this is a lot flatter. And because it's flatter, it has less abrasion resistance as opposed to SK78, for example. 42 is very different than 68. Yahoo! Got here is our noose. Come on, come on. There's that. Broke around the noose. Button looks nice and hard. Kind of got deformation there.
Hey, Amazon.
So broke here. Looks like it's flat. Looks pretty good. Broken the noose. The circle is in pretty good shape. Circles, I could almost reuse that thing. Broke the noose.
So this is what has me jacked for breaking gear on this channel. The Amazon stuff was stronger, but all the soft shackles were weaker. That's an interesting result. Until you just start pulling on stuff, you just don't know what's gonna happen. Now, if we just wanna zoom in on the different types of soft shackles, you can see that the button knot is outperforming the overhand knot. But the circle got quite a huge range in there. And with the circle, the unfavorable way actually was stronger. But if we zoom out a little, you're gonna see that we are not getting double what the eye-to-eye splice was. And I think that might be because as the stuff's rubbing on each other, it doesn't hold up as good. I don't know what else to think. Put in the comments below because I'm just a guy pulling on this stuff. Now, if you're not confused yet, watch the Sk99 Max brake tests, and then you will be.
Oh no! What on earth happened here? Did it rip the head off? Okay, I've never seen that result before. Wow. Oh wow. This head got mangled. Not even quite sure. Did not break around the noose like normal. It's like this. This is not broken. This is not broken. Is SK99 stronger than that aluminum? Where is it? 71.3. All right, it did not break again. This Sk99 Max is stronger than this aluminum, and this was pulled unfavorably. And so we lost half of it. I do not know where it went. That wasn't supposed to happen. That looks like it's still in great shape. Okay, that is fluffy. I'm gonna make a pillow out of this. This is just, how strong would you think it needed to be? I thought it was fine. And I put a soft shackle on here in order to connect my tail of this guy. Because, you know, this is only so long. So you can see here, this is how my 2-to-1 works, and it goes to the pulley. $93.45. This is what you call a sad hydraulic. We have improved our system and we put in a thicker, beefier spen set. But this guy does not want to go more than 49 when I pull it straight. I don't have this in when I pull it straight. Or in this case, we've learned the max force is 93. My PR, my record in this machine is 176 kilonewtons, and it took weeks of repair when I was done. That's not what this is designed for. This is super good enough.
So our two overhand tests have more than a 20 kilonewton discrepancy between the two of them? That makes me feel like we need to break 30 of each to come up with any conclusions here. The two circle tests we did, favorably and unfavorably, were like almost the same. And the button nut showed us how strong a girth hitched span set is. I do think we would have got double with the button nut, but my hydraulic doesn't really go past 90 without being mad at me. Which should have dawned on me not to use 6mm diameter for all these tests if SK99 is quoting these strengths and I was thinking I was gonna get double. So I am the proud new owner of the second sample that I refused to break. Now I just threw a bunch of numbers at you. And I wanna know if you think that's too many or if we kept it organized enough for you to kind of understand all the data. Now, that's a lot of numbers in a video. What's really cool is we now have a written form of each episode, and you now can go through and read what's in the episodes without having to necessarily watch them. It does help you see the context in what we're doing, but you can at least get the numbers, the behind the scenes, and even more importantly, the after posting thoughts. Because if you guys give me some really interesting information or good feedback, or everyone said I said something wrong, I can update that part of the blog. I can't update a video once I hit publish. So if you want to see if we've updated any information about this topic, head over there and make sure you subscribe and hit the bell for our other Dyneema videos.